Hello, welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management. A 30-minute show that features brand news, brand in focus, industry interviews, conversations, and much more, all in the mix to promote the brand idea home and abroad. Welcome. First on the show, Interbrand has released its Best Global Brands 2019 report, the 20th edition of the world's first brand valuation survey, showing that Apple, Google, and Amazon continue their success as the world's three most valuable brands worldwide. The report also revealed that the luxury and retail industry is still the fastest growing sector. Taking account Interbrand's unparalleled wealth of 20 years of brand valuation data, this report examines the world's most successful brands through the lens of iconic moves, focusing on the end of a traditional approach to brand positioning and industry leaders' navigation of the rapid ongoing change among consumers and competitive landscapes. And I quote, 20 years on from its first report, consumers today are more informed, more connected, and more demanding than ever before through a combination of wealth of choice, erosion of loyalty, and shifting frames of reference, wanting immediacy, abundance, and intimacy all at the same time. Well, that's according to Charles Treville, Global Chief Executive Officer of Interbrand. And I also quote once more, the age of brand positioning is over. In a world where customer expectation will continue to move faster than businesses, static brand positioning and incremental change will just about keep brands in the game. But it will take brave, we would say, iconic moves to make brands leap ahead of customer expectations and ultimately deliver extraordinary business results. President Muhammadu Buhari and his Dutch counterpart, Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Mark Rutte, are happy with the public-private partnership between FrieslandCampina, Wamco Nigeria PLC, producer of dairy products and brands Peak and Three Crowns Milk, and the Niger State government on the backward integration initiative ongoing on 10,000 hectares of land at the Bobby Grazing Reserve in the state under FrieslandCampina Wamco Dairy Development Program. Both country leaders witnessed the signing of the MOU between the Governor of Niger State, His Excellency Abubakar Sani Bello, and the President of FrieslandCampina Consumer Dairy, Roel van Nebos, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, on November the 26th of this year. This is in line with the government's National Livestock Transformation Plan, which seeks to grow livestock farming in Nigeria and transform the dairy sector into an economic force that will yield the twin objectives of economic growth and people empowerment. As the federal government's preferred partner on dairy development and backward integration initiatives, FrieslandCampina Wamco continues to lead DDP in Nigeria by expanding to more states. Currently, the company has developed pasture on 1,000 of the 10,000 hectares of land assigned to it at the Bobby Grazing Reserve and established key infrastructure, including a milk collection center with a high-capacity cooling tank and high-quality milk testing equipment. Furthermore, the company has emerged the first to introduce hydroponics, a method of growing high-nutrient grass in harsh environments, a greenhouse pasture development that would ensure year-round feed for cows. It has also provided solar-powered boreholes to support farmers with potable water and water for the cattle. The MOU between Niger State and FrieslandCampina Wamco acknowledges the 9-year successes of the latter's dairy development program in Oyo, Ogun, and Osun states respectively. It seeks its replication and expansion of local dairy production at the reserve, as well as train dairy cooperatives in Niger State on best global practices, leading sustainable dairy development in Nigeria, according to the company's executive director, corporate affairs, Ore Famurewa. The dairy development program was officially launched by the company in August 2010 in Kwara State, and this climaxed with the signing of an MOU between the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and FrieslandCampina Wamco Nigeria as its partner on dairy development in April 2011 and was subsequently renewed in June 2016. The DDP enables dairy farmers to also run their businesses optimally with higher yields and better milk quality. This successful and unique model has benefited over 7,000 farmers, including 950 women, a milk bulking center, 6 milk collection centers, and 20 milk collection points. The federal government has been called upon as a matter of urgency to reconstitute the Governing Council of the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, as well as appoint a chairman to steer the affairs of the council. In similar vein, the government has been asked to kickstart a process towards reviewing Nigeria's national communication policy, as well as develop a strategic communication plan to ensure effective policy formulation and dissemination of public information machinery. And giving these advice was the former chairman of the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, Lulu Akinwumi, while speaking at the opening of the two-day National Advertising Conference held in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, addressing a forum of professional advertising and marketing communications industry practitioners and guests to converge at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel's Abuja venue of the conference. Mr. Akinwumi observed that 6 years into the Buhari administration, APCON does not have a chairman and council, pointing out that for a major parastatal that plays a key role in public communication and serves as a gatekeeper, this was inadequate and hence should be redressed. And I quote, "We use this opportunity again to call on government to appoint a chairman and a council for APCON. I would like to use this opportunity to convey to the government and especially the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture that the government has a very strong ally in the industry." Mr. Akinwumi was one-time president of the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria. One of the key things that the practitioners under APCON can do is to especially support and drive government's key economic and social mobilization programs.
Hello, food already. Have you not go chop today?
Today na my cheat day.
So what do you want?
Give me 2 wraps of pound.
Excuse me, madam. The client has just arrived and will be upstairs very soon.
All right, send him right up. Thank you. Mama, make I see that brocoto.
You know see. Correct brocoto and assorted meat.
That one.
Madam, tell me now. Customer novice, which one you want? Amala, ewedu, pomo, and then brocoto. No, customer don't buy it.
Ebola abeyan, spirit of human being.
Okay, no fire na my meat be that.
Internet customer. Abeg, give me brocoto. When she come, you will give am another one.
Okay, no fire.
Don't miss out on life's little pleasures. Upgrade to the super fast and reliable MTN 4G network.
Let my meat go.
Media Facts, the periodic market trend information booklet published by Media Reach OMD, is out again on newsstands with its latest edition pointing to ever-increasing decline in overall advertising spend across in the Nigerian media. According to the details of the market trend information contained in the publication, the decline in advertising spend being experienced in the past 3 years in the nation's media continued in 2018 with a drop in total above-the-line advertising expenditure to 81 billion naira as against 88 billion naira recorded the previous year, 2017. In the past 5 years, the growth trajectory concerning and spend in the nation's media has not been too encouraging. For instance, besides 2015, where the ad spend was put at 97.9 billion naira, a significant improvement from 2014 performance of 93 billion naira. The industry has been experiencing a free fall in ad spend in the past 3 years. For instance, the ad spends attracted by the media in 2016, 2017 and 2018 had been 91 billion naira, 88 billion naira and 81 billion naira respectively, pointed to a steady decline in ad fortunes and the nation's media comprising the TV, radio, and over the years, Media Facts published by Media Reach OMD has over the years become a key resource for marketing professionals in West and Central Africa. According to the latest edition of the report, besides the press, which recorded significant growth of 18.4%, That is 20.8 billion naira spent in 2018 as against 2017 spent about 17.6 billion naira. Performances of other media such as TV, radio and outdoor in 2018 revealed that they did not attract the type of ad spend that came their ways in the previous years. For instance, while TV could only muster 29.4 billion naira in 2018 as against the 3.5 billion naira recorded in the previous year, the total ATL and expenditure for radio in 2018 remains 10.1 billion naira as against this performance of 12.4 billion naira in 2017. Outdoor did not fare better as its ad spend dropped to 29.4 billion naira in 2018 from 33.5 billion naira it attracted in 2017. Interestingly, the nation's telecommunications sector still remains the highest spender in the ATL category, with MTN, Airtel topping the list of the top 20 advertisers for the year, with ad spend of 7 billion naira and 3.6 billion naira respectively, constituting 13% of the total ad spend in the category. Telecoms giant MTN Nigeria has unveiled its latest 5G technology application, through which the company says it plans to further its delivery of better and quality telecommunication services to its teeming consumers in the Nigerian market. The official launch of the new telecoms technology that took place in Abuja was made possible by the collaborative efforts of the telecoms company working in conjunction with the Ministry of Communications, Technology and Digital Economy, the Nigerian Communications Commission, Huawei, ZTE and Erricson. The 5G technology application launched in Abuja is the latest innovative technology offering by the telecoms company and is the first of its kind to be launched across the entire West African sub-region. According to the company, the formal demonstration of the latest technology, which was kick-started in Abuja, would be replicated subsequently in 2 other Nigerian cities, namely Lagos and Calabar. The Minister of Communications, Technology and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, who spoke during a tour of the exhibition booths in Abuja, highlighted the potential of the 5G technology in advancing sustainable economic growth, stressing the importance of an enabling regulatory framework and protecting telecommunications infrastructure. Mr. Pantami stated that on the instruction of President Muhammadu Buhari, he has signed a draft executive order declaring telecommunications infrastructure a critical national infrastructure, which has been forwarded to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation for review. The minister referred to the proposed executive order as a short-term measure, stressing that the president has instructed that a proper legislation be facilitated to deal conclusively with threats of telecommunications infrastructure, highlighting the importance of partnerships. Furthermore, the chief executive officer, MTN Nigeria, also said, and I quote, "Pushing boundaries is easier when your aspirations are supported by like-minded people. We are here today because of the support and guidance of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy and the Nigerian Communications Commission, who provided the trill spectrum used for this. Today's success underlines the fact that we are good together," end of quote. Also speaking via a post on LinkedIn digital platform, Chief Transformation Officer MTN Olubayo Adekombi noted, and I quote, "Awesome day as MTN Nigeria leads the first 5G trial in West Africa," adding that with 5G, you can be everywhere and you can do everything, powered by its continuous connection, greater capacity and low latency. He further stated, "Very proud of MTN and its innovation leadership drive. With 5G, IoT and artificial intelligence in a tripartite combo, they can power a data-sensitive and intensive smart digital economy, disrupt underdevelopment and take the nation to the next growth level." With over 300 registered practitioners as members, Advertising Practitioners Association Abuja chapter commands a considerable sectorial presence in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Advertising practice should be pan-Nigeria as long as practitioner is qualified and as a practicing professional registered with Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, the apex body. There has been, however, a growing concern among practitioners, particularly those in Lagos, that APAC as a body has in recent times put some measures in place which make it difficult for advertising practitioners who live in other parts of Nigeria to smoothly carry out a legitimate project without necessarily being members of APAC. The said practitioners allege that prospective clients whose businesses were based in Abuja hardly gave briefs to marketing communication experts who live outside the FCT for fear that such projects, if won by an agency other than APAC member, may suffer a setback in the area of implementation.
Plenty package, why you can't still they manage? Why you the stress, why you the worry? Are you late, oh yeah? You got everything you need.
You can choose to manage everything else, but not your data. Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# today. Data is life.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hello, welcome to the interview segment on Marketing Edge, and on today's edition I have Paul Ogwagu, the CEO of STB McCanns. Thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today. Okay, now I'd like to have your own description of this development. Would you also call this a positive development? How, or negative, would you say?
Well, anything that allows, any process that allows some kind of verification, that makes sure you pay for what you got and you have value, it's good. And it allows both parties, both the supplier and the client, to breathe properly. So it pays everybody. You know, of course, if you adhere strictly to those rules, then it's like you know what you're expecting, you know when you're expecting it, and then you can plan along with it.
Let's talk about your company now. It's 29 years since establishment, STB McCanns. How would you assess your growth so far?
It's 29 years. It was established in 1990, and that same year it started as STB and Associates, and then it got affiliated to McTN Erricson, so it became STB McCanns that same year. And that same year we got into the big league because we got the Coca-Cola account, and it just put us in the big league at the very onset, you know. And then from there till now, the agency has maintained its status among the big players. We're very competitive. We do good jobs. We have big clients. We maintain our international status, and we're looking at being more relevant in the industry.
And to what extent would you say you've been able to meet up with your vision and mission? Every company has one, and it's really clear-cut.
Our vision is to be the number one in providing solutions to clients' marketing problems. You know, clients have marketing challenges, problems, and we are there to partner with them. So we are like an extension of the marketing arm of our clients. And to that extent, we want to make their brands relevant to the people, to their customers, to the country. And in that wise, we're doing very well.
Let's look at your company's competitive edge. Now, what makes your knife the sharpest in the industry?
It's professionalism, and we're very, very strategic. In marketing communication, strategy is everything. In other words, you do not just go into the marketing battlefield without having a strategy, without getting very strong insights. We call our core value something like truth well told, which means finding the truth about the brands we manage and making those truths relevant. It's based normally on insights, strong consumer insights. That's what differentiates us. So when you see our products out there, they are not coming out from the blues. They are coming from deep research, deep insights within the community where we operate. That's what makes us strong.
And what's your mantra, your agency's philosophy?
The mantra is, again, truth well told. Creativity comes from truth of the brand, to make sure that the solutions that we give, they stand out. They stand the clients out from the crowd.
And how would you also assess your inputs now since you came on board over the years so far?
Okay, let me give a brief history to that. I'm not entirely new. I got into STB McCanns in 2002 as the creative director on Coca-Cola business, and I was there till 2009. And between that time, I was trained in South Africa in the South African McCann agency between 2004 and 2005. And then I came back, and I've gone through so many departments. I was creative director, I was a strategic planning director, I was new business director. So I've gone through all those phases. So I left sometimes in 2009 to pursue other interests. So I only came back last year. And since I came back last year, there was a reason why I came back, and it's just to bring back that very core McCann tradition of infusing more professionalism, managing the business properly, making sure that we have round pegs in round holes, and to take our pride of place in the committee of brand communication.
From your years of experience, what would you also say are the biggest challenges you've identified with big advertising companies?
Thank you. Because big advertising agencies are affiliated to their international brothers. That is why businesses also move with affiliation. So for instance, there may be a different agency handling some multinational accounts right now. So it makes the agency maybe big today, and then tomorrow, if those businesses move to another agency by virtue of affiliation change, it makes the other agency. So that's just it. So there are swinging fortunes, where today you have big clients, tomorrow you may not have so big clients. So your duty is to make sure that you grow the local clients as well. You get clients that are not necessarily referred to you by your affiliation.
And now, looking at your 5-year plan, because I believe every business has one in the short term, middle term and long term, but let's focus on 5 years now. What does STB McCanns hope to achieve in terms of penetration, looking at the advertising and marketing community in Nigeria and beyond?
We're already making impact. These days, when you invite us to like what we call pitches, and you mentioned the name of STB McCanns, then you've got to be a bit afraid, if you are competition. Because in the last few months, we've won pitches, and I'm not going to mention names of those we competed against, but we've won big businesses. Recently, we just finished one called the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. It was an international pitch competition between us and so many other agencies, which we won. We just finished Facebook. And some other clients, sometimes it's not too strategic to talk about those things. What I'm just saying is that in the next 5 years, when you hear our name, no matter the level you are, big, medium, not so big, you got to be a bit afraid.
And your growth prospects?
We hope to double what we have currently. To remember that growth projections, we also need to look at the economy. How the economy is doing and where the big spenders are. But we intend to double whatever we are running right now. We intend to branch off into new areas of marketing communication. Let me give you an example. In the last couple of years, we've begun to carve out a niche for ourselves as the best agency for behavioral change communication. So in other words, we have these big NGOs who want to move behavior, from this practice to that practice, and we're doing a lot of that. So we're getting to the agency of record for such specialized communication, and we are getting the numbers in. So we intend to do more of that, do more of digital and other things.
I would describe you as a bowl of optimism. How would you describe yourself, Paul?
Paul is a regular guy who wants to play his part, make his mark in the communication industry, to leave something behind for coming generation. Like I said, I started my career a long time ago. I have like 28 years experience in the business. I've been a teacher. For instance, I did NYSC, University of Maiduguri, 1990. I taught in their mass communication department. I've taught at APCON as a part-time lecturer, pro bono. We've set up academies even in-house called Young Guns Academy. I'm an author. I've written a couple of books, one in advertising, one in storybook. All these things are to ensure that you leave something for the upcoming generation, to leave the industry better than we met it, and to leave something for others to actually work on.
And talking about what you'd like to be known for, your legacy, your philosophy, what would that be? Integrity,
professionalism. I like to stand before anybody and before God to say that in this business, I've been very professional. We don't do underhand practices. We do things according to conscience, according to best practices. And we have innovated to make sure that the industry is better off for it.
And if I may ask, who is your role model, or who are your role models?
I'll say my father, late father, because that was a man who operated with a conscience, who had the general good of people, not overly ambitious, inordinately ambitious, no, but who the good book says, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Who did his best within the means available, to him. So I would say my father.
Thank you very much for your time, Paul. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
It's now a wrap on the interview segment. On Marketing Edge, we've been speaking with the Chief Executive Officer of STB McCanns.
Hello, food already. Have you not go chop today?
Today na my cheat day.
So what do you want?
Give me 2 wraps of pound.
Excuse me, madam. The client has just arrived and will be upstairs very soon.
All right, send him right up. Thank you. Hey, Mama, make I see that brocoto.
You know see. For red brocoto and assorted meat.
That one.
Madam, tell me now. Customer novice, which one you want? Amala, Ewegu, Pomo, and then brocoto.
No, customer don't buy.
Ebola Abenyo, spirit or human being?
Okay, no fire. Now my meat be that.
Internet customer. Abeg, give me brocoto. When she come, you will give her another one.
Okay, no fire.
Don't miss out on life's little pleasures. Upgrade to the super fast and reliable MTN 4G network.
Let my meat go.